Hello everyone, Kenny here, Kenny's Tree Removal. So today we have this large white oak. We get a lot of questions through our social media and even clients will go get bids as to how we manage to get a tree this size on the ground. So that's pretty much what this video is going to be about. You're going to see how we put a large oak like this safely on the ground without falling in from the ground. And I'm going to run you through some of the gears we use to climb and take this tree down. So number one thing on this job site here, there were septic lines and septic tanks. So the customer didn't want any crane or bucket truck on site. So this was the way for us to do it. Luckily for him, we're very skilled in the art of tree removal without a crane and without a bucket truck. So pretty much to take down this tree, as you can see here, we set a line from the ground. It's a lifeline. You'll see it here in a minute. It's blue line that I have right there. So we use a large slingshot to throw a big bag and a rope up the tree, and we try to tie it in as high as possible to make it easier to work around the tree. So that's the lifeline. In the event that something happens, I cut myself, or we encounter, a nest of wasp or bees or whatnot, it's just a safe way to come down the tree, rappel down very quickly as opposed to spiking down. The second line you see there is an orange rope that's actually got a metal core inside, so it's not just a rope, it's metal. Now a lot of people think that just because you have the metal cord line like that, the chainsaw doesn't cut it. And let me tell you, a chainsaw will cut that. Not as fast as a regular rope, but it will cut it depending on how you hit it. So pretty much I have two tying points. I have a tying pole, that blue rope up to the tree, and then I choke myself around the tree with the other one. Again, it's just a second safety pretty much. In case one of the other fails, you still tie it in at least once. The other question we get a lot, especially on the YouTube, is, well, what is those things you have in your shoes? And pretty much they're spikes. So the shoes are not like that. You put them over the shoes. They're called climbing spikes. They're called climbing spurts. But yeah, pretty much this, you set your foot in them, and they strap around your foot and your ankle. And then they have these tiny little spikes that you have to balance yourself in, and you spike. And if you don't do it, they're not sharp. If you don't do them hard enough into an oak like this, you will come off. Your foot will slip off, and you will scuff your hands, and it's an unpleasant feeling because it feels like you're gonna fall to the ground, even though you obviously are not going to because you're tied in twice. But it's definitely something to get used to. It's not something you're gonna just put some spikes and go up a tree and cut a tree like this. So many variables goes into the removal of trees like this. Like everything else, a professional always makes everything look easier than what it really is. This here is taking me years to master. I have other tree friends that they just don't want to deal with bigger trees like this unless they could get their bucket truck. So they call us in and we'll handle it for them. Like I said, in this property there was septic tank and septic lines, so we had to be very careful around everything. Mostly it's the concern for the client was mostly bringing a heavy equipment into that part of the lawn. Dropping the branches and stuff was no big deal, but here you're gonna see these branches tied up to a block. You can't see the top of the branch, but it's a very long branch and it's too close to the house, leaning towards the house. Just for safety, we tied it up and lower it. You'll see here it doesn't free fall, it gets tied up, see right there. And my ground guy, is controlling it through a friction device connected to the tree, and that's how we safely we're able to cut that one section. Now there's jobs where we do the entire tree just like you saw there with blocks and pulleys and lower everything in section, because we literally cannot drop anything from that high into the lawn. That's not the case here. It was more of heavy weight on the lawn from equipment. Um, Customer was very happy when we were done here. But see, like this one section here I'm about to cut, it was what's called free falling. You could literally just cut it and let it free fall. Again, these are massive size branches. The video doesn't do justice. If you're not careful cutting something like this, you could get hurt really bad, or the worst, get killed. So here we are. I took all the top down of the tree already. Now the tree was leaning back towards, you see my truck back there. So we put a redirect to the truck with a block to another tree, because we want to fall it forward away from the house, as opposed to the lean, which was of the tree, which is back towards the house and where the septic tank and lines were. So here we're putting a notch on it, and we're about to drop it right across the debris. Now we have the tree on the tension with the rope. The rope that we're using, this is not some Home Depot rope or some rope you just buy at any hardware store. These are arborist ropes. That's a 3/4 inch rigging rope, bull rope, that we're using to pull this tree over. And it's tension, but it's not too tension where the rope will snap, because even a thick rope like that, it doesn't matter. After usage over and over, they start to get weaker, which is why you have to replace them once in a while. But yeah, we had some tension on it. See, I'm looking at the top of the tree, I'm looking at the rope, and my guy, I'm giving him the hint there, the signal to go ahead and tension a little bit more. You can see the rope there is getting a little bit harder, and it's just a very slow process. To the untrained eye, it looks like, oh, they just put a rope and pull a tree over, and that's how homeowners and other inexperienced tree guys get in trouble. It's not only about pulling a rope and pulling a tree over. There's a lot of science into cutting a tree and the steps to it. I highly suggest, if you decide to get into this industry, to do your research and learn everything you can. But there it is. We flopped the tree. Beautiful hinge. That's what's holding the tree. If you cut your hinge right there, that little strip of 1 inch, you are going to make the tree float to a way where you don't want it to do. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy, and I'll catch you in the next video.